So I'm not sure if some of you are aware or not, but at prelim level, you're expected to walk, trot and canter with the horse carrying himself in a natural outline. Ideally, when we're talking about getting the horse working in an outline, we're talking about getting the horse working through from behind into the contact. And what we're trying to look for is that the horse engages his hind quarters, rounds his back, becomes a little bit rounder through the neck, you can see with all of these three, but different shapes of course. And that the steps look elasticated and that the horse looks free in his way of going. And that's all you're expecting at prelim and novice level. And that would be through the walk, trot and the canter. At this level then you'd be expected to go on to do some shallow loops, some 10-meter circles, giving and retaking the rein in trot and canter, and a good working trot and working canter. No collection would need it to be shown. So if we look at Lisa's horse to begin with, Lisa's horse has got the typical trait of a Welsh cobier and goes slightly over bent. So Lisa'd be working on bringing her up a little bit in front. Although the nice thing about the Welsh cob is that they have good hop action and are really active from behind. You know, she looks really busy and the horse looks like she's really enjoying it. Zoe here riding the standard bred trotter, a good nice calm trot, and B is starting to settle into the bridle, but a very, very different outline to Lisa's horse. And I think we can agree here that Lucy's horse in the middle has got a slightly more advanced outline and therefore is working nearly towards elementary. She's at the end to the novice level. If you can change the rein, please, everybody. We're looking for a good tempo within the rhythm, so a good speed within the rhythm. And that should be maintained throughout the dressage test. The rider should be supple through their back, riding independently of their hands, looking up and ahead and giving a nice soft appearance throughout. So, you know, thinking back to what I said at the beginning, where we're looking at ballet on horseback. Okay, so we're going to go on to introduce a little bit of canter. Now, I know all three of these horses will be fine, so when you're ready, ladies, in your own time, introduce a bit of canter, please. And do what you would normally do to work them. If you're warming up, you might well work a little bit in forward seat. Or if you're riding a young horse, or possibly with B, the standard bred trotter, you'd have to help her a little bit more in the canter. I mean, as it suggests, the standard bred trotter is meant to trot, not canter. Therefore, she's definitely going to find the canter the hardest pace. So you'd help them as much as possible. But I know that I have done horse trials on this horse, and I've done prelim novice tests on her, a little bit in forward seat, and I've got away with it. You know, you just need to ride according to what you're feeling. It is a prelim novice test. So if you can go on to show a little bit more canter, all of you, when you're ready, and just develop the canter, please. So the canter should be 3 beats. So we're looking for that, and that again would be something that maybe a young horse would find difficult, or even the standard bred trotter. So you'd allow them forward a little bit more so that you're really ensuring that you've got those 3 beats. That's a nice canter there with Lisa. As the horse develops through their training, which we'll see in the next 3 horses that come in, you will see that they will come up through their poll. The poll then being the highest point between their ears. So Lisa's horse is a little bit low through the poll, but that's because, you know, she's working through the levels. And again, as I said, it is a trait of the Welsh cob. You spend years trying to educate them. So Zoe, if you could show a bit more canter, please. You can see that maybe Lucy's horse is a little bit wooden, and you'd have to just be careful that she didn't go a little bit forward time occasionally there in the canter. So Lucy's got to work really, really hard on getting her horse forward. That's a nice canter there, Zoe would be, and you can see that the standardbred trotter's cantering very nicely. It's good. And in the prelim and novice test, the canter would be very basic. It would be pick-up canter, maybe a 20-metre circle, and then you'd be back to trot. And this is actually B's worst side. Okay, so if we can change the rein, please. So I was talking earlier about some of the movements that's expected within the test, and a new movement that they've brought out over the last couple of years would be to allow the horse to take and stretch into the contacts, and you're asked to do this at novice level in trot and canter, which is quite tricky on a young horse to show it in canter particularly. You know, I'm sure some of you are quite aware that when you're sitting on your horse and you're working them and it's a young horse, you really don't want to give too much because you feel that they might take off with you. But that's why they're asking you to demonstrate. And the purpose of all the tests is that you are showing that your horse is beautifully educated and schooled and can maintain everything, particularly under the stress of being in a competition. So if you could all go on to show them this working canter. So good transition there from Zoe. The horse works forward into the bridle and softens into the contact. So Zoe, if you maintain the canter a little bit longer now, and Lisa, when you're ready, pop her into canter. So if you felt that your horse was coping very well with everything at this level, you then go on to start working towards elementary, even though you were still competing at prelim and novice. Because it'd be really good to go to your first competition confident that your horse could work to a higher level. And as you go on to elementary level, you'd be expected to work a little bit more collected, and you'd be showing more medium paces as well. Some medium paces through the trot and the canter. So thinking about the medium paces, you'd be pushing the horse forward so that they'd be lengthening their frame and their stride a little. Keep her cantering, Zoe. Push her on a little. So you're showing that you can push the horse forward and they can lengthen and shorten their stride with ease and stay in the shape and stay into the contact. Good. Okay, if we all stay in trot. So leg yielding is not shown at prelim and novice level. You would go on to show it at elementary level, but you would definitely be using it as part of your training from an early stage. So all three of these horses now are going to go on to show a little bit of leg yielding. Leg yielding is when the horse goes forward and sideways, and it's the first basic lateral movement that your horse should understand. So we would do it to begin with on the 3/4 line, which is the line between the outside track and the centre line. And firstly, it would be good to show that your horse could do a straight line. So we'll do it on both sides of the arena, and then we'll change the rein and do it the other way around. So firstly, ride the 3/4 line, please, all three of you, in a straight line before you do the leg yielding.